The Perfect Plan, written by Rachel on September 24th, 2025. It was the night before Uncle Joe and Katie's wedding when Tommy the Poodle was wrapping up his final appointment with his tailor to get his custom three-piece purple suit fitted. As the tailor was measuring Tommy's 2-inch inseam, he heard Gigi's iPhone ring. He stole his grandmother's phone right before she left the house with Mama to go to the rehearsal dinner. "Mr. Pickles," the man from the helicopter rental company said to Tommy, "everything should be good for your departure tomorrow on October 18th. The weather's supposed to be perfect, so your journey should be smooth sailing. All you have to do is arrive at the airstrip at 4 p.m. with $800 in cash, and we'll help you get into the helicopter. You don't have to worry about anything. The pilot will take care of everything for you." "Thank you," Tommy told him. "I'll make sure to get the emergency money from my Gigi's sock drawer, and I'll have everything ready for you at the airstrip. See you at 4. Tommy hung up the call with the man from the helicopter rental company. All was going according to plan. He would make a dramatic entrance to Uncle Joe and Katie's wedding via helicopter right before they said their vows. He would then pop the 8-carat diamond ring out of his jacket pocket, the ring that he stole from a local jeweler, and Katie would be so overjoyed she'd marry him right on the spot. Tommy had fallen in love with Katie from the first moment he met her 3 years ago when he was only 8 weeks old, so he was sure Uncle Joe would understand. As the tailor slipped the thin elastic band of the matching bespoke purple fedora over Tommy's head, visions of his future triumph ran through his mind. Tommy was certain Katie would be so impressed by his ostentatious display, his arrival on the Bellevue Hotel's roof with a helicopter, the 8-carat diamond ring, that she'd marry him instead of Joe before it was too late. Around 11 p.m., the tailor had finished making Tommy's 3-piece purple suit, along with the shirt, tie, and matching fedora. Tommy had paid him the $1,200 that Gigi kept hidden inside the old Quaker Oats tub she kept in one of the floor-level cabinets in the kitchen. "Keep the change," Tommy told him as he admired his own reflection in the tailor's full-length mirror he kept in his office. "I'm going to be the most handsomest little boy at the wedding tomorrow. After that, I'm going to be Mr. Tommy DeSandro." "Would you like a garment bag to bring your outfit home in, sir?" the tailor asked him. "It'll only be another $50. "Sure, why not?" Tommy said as he handed the tailor the $50. "I just gotta hurry up and get home soon before Mama and Gigi get back from the rehearsal dinner." Shortly thereafter, Tommy removed the outfit while the tailor packed it up inside the garment bag. He then rushed outside to get his Uber so he could get home before anyone else knew what he was up to. With tomorrow being such a big day, he knew he needed to get his rest in as well. Everything needed to go according to plan so Katie would marry him. So far on October 18th, everything was happening according to schedule. Tommy arrived at the airstrip at 4 p.m. in a spiffy new outfit, and the pilot took off with him in tow. They were scheduled to land at exactly 5 p.m. on the rooftop lounge of the Bellevue Hotel, where Uncle Joe and Katie's wedding was taking place right before they exchanged their vows. As the clock inside the cockpit said 4:50 p.m., the famous Philadelphia skyline drew near. "Soon enough," Tommy thought. "Katie will be mine forever." A couple minutes later, the helicopter pilot spoke up. "There's the Bellevue Hotel right over there, Mr. Pickles. We'll be landing shortly." "Sounds good," Tommy said. "I'm the readiest I've ever been. Every boy dreams of his wedding day where he gets to be a prince." Meanwhile, at Uncle Joe and Katie's wedding, not a single soul was the wiser as to what was about to occur. Sitting in attendance were the many guests, which included Gigi, Mama, and her best friend, Miss Lily. As the wedding march started playing, everyone turned around in anticipation of the happy couple to arrive. Uncle Joe was the first one to walk down the aisle, looking handsome in his new tuxedo. Then, moments later, Katie came down the aisle as she was escorted by her father. Looking radiant in her long, beautiful gown and veil, she joined Uncle Joe up front, and the minister began the ceremony. While the ceremony itself was elegant and lovely, those in attendance strained to hear the words of the minister over the obnoxious, droning sound of an approaching helicopter. To the shock of everyone there, it seemed that the helicopter was poised to land on the roof of the Bellevue Hotel. The propellers rotated ominously as the helicopter slowly descended nearby where the guests were seated. As the helicopter finally anchored itself to the roof of the hotel, Tommy made a request to the pilot. "Could you please pick me up and walk me over to the bride? I have little legs and I need to save my strength for my big entrance." Everyone at the wedding was murmuring to each other in shock and confusion as the helicopter pilot exited the cockpit carrying Tommy. As he held Tommy, they walked over to Uncle Joe and Katie. "Oh no," Mama said to no one in particular as she saw Tommy arrive. Meanwhile, poor Gigi looked like she was about to fall over in shock. Mama stroked Gigi's shoulder in reassurance. "I'll put a stop to this." Mama then tried to stand up as quickly as she could in her full-length gown, but nothing could possibly get in between Tommy and Katie at this point. As the helicopter pilot approached Katie, Uncle Joe, and the minister, Tommy whispered to him, "Put me down now." The helicopter pilot obliged, and Tommy pulled the 8-carat diamond ring out of his pocket. He then dropped down to his fluffy little knee. "Katie, will you marry me?" At this point, Uncle Joe and Katie were beside themselves in shock. However, Katie was the first one to compose herself and speak up. "I'm sorry, Tommy," she said. "I love you, but not like that. I'm in love with your Uncle Joe, and I'm going to marry him." "But why can't you marry me?" Tommy protested. "Because I'm a person and you're a dog," Katie told him. "What do you mean?" Tommy exclaimed. "I'm a people. You've seen me eat blueberries. And I poop in the house. And I wear clothes, too." Tommy was on the verge of tears, but he had to keep his cool. He couldn't believe his perfect plan wasn't working out the way he thought. "You'll always be my little man," Katie assured him as she knelt down and took his tiny paw in her hand. "Even though I'm marrying your Uncle Joe, you can come visit us at our new house whenever you want. You'll even have your own guest bedroom." "If you can get me an extra large squishmallow for the bed, you have a deal," Tommy told her. "Deal," Katie agreed. "Now promise me you'll go over and sit with your mom so we can finish the ceremony." "Okay," Tommy said. "Now that I think of it, I don't think I was ready to settle down yet anyway. When you're 3 years old, you want to keep playing the field." Everyone at the wedding laughed at what Tommy said as he went over to where Mama was seated. As mortified as she was by her furry child's crazy stunt just now, she managed to smile at everyone as she pulled him onto her lap. The rest of the ceremony continued without a hitch. Later on during the reception inside the hotel's ballroom, the bride and groom mingled with their guests as the hotel waitstaff arrived carrying hors d'oeuvres on plates. As Mama held Tommy, his Gigi leaned over to whisper into his ear, "How much did that outfit cost?" "I'll tell you after the wedding, Gigi," Tommy whispered back to her, her face turning white as she imagined the astronomical sum he must have recently spent. A waiter then approached him and Mama holding a plate of sausage canapes. His eyes grew wide. Sausage was his favorite. "Don't mind me," Tommy said to Mama and the waiter right before he devoured every canapé on the plate. Mama rolled her eyes at Tommy. "They'll think I never feed you at home." "What?" Tommy said. "I've never had wedding food before. It's so delicious. I can't believe I've been missing out on it." Moments later, Miss Lily walked over to them as she was done talking to one of Katie's cousins. Tommy had always thought Miss Lily was very pretty, but she looked especially beautiful tonight wearing her formal dress. Tommy wiped the crumbs off his mouth and smiled at her. "Miss Lily, are you free later tonight after the wedding?" The end.